Konnichiwa, boku no namae wa Risu desu. Hola, ¿cómo están? Mi nombre es Luis. How's it going, guys? My name is Luis Alamilla, and I just want to introduce myself in those languages because I speak a little bit of Japanese and I'm pretty good at Spanish. But apparently it's a secret that I speak more than English, so I just want to say hi to any other international viewers that might be watching. But this is my review of Overcooked for the Nintendo Switch. It's been out on PS4, Xbox One, and PC for almost a year now. It's a really great indie game, and now it's officially coming to Nintendo Switch this week. So let's see if this game is great on the Switch or if it's a bit undercooked. I needed to make that joke at least once. Anyway, the Nintendo Switch version of this game is called Overcooked Special Edition, which is pretty much Overcooked the holiday bundle that's already on other platforms, but now also on the go. This bundle includes the main Overcooked game, the Lost Morsel DLC that adds in new levels and new characters, and lastly the Festive Seasons DLC that adds in some Christmas-themed levels and characters too. All the DLC levels are more challenging than the main campaign and aren't meant to be tackled until after you finish the campaign, though everything is technically accessible from the get-go. Overcooked tells the story of a post-apocalyptic world taken over by a giant spaghetti monster. You play as two chefs who are sent back in time by an Onion King to better train your cooking skills and get ready for the future, where the spaghetti monster will rise and take over the world. It's quite literally as bizarre as it sounds. If you've ever played Mario Party before, more specifically the Cake Factory minigame, then think of Overcooked as one big complicated version of that minigame. Well, sort of. The mechanics are very simple in Overcooked. You move around one character at a time and you can switch between two on the fly with the press of a button. As for your actions, you get one button that's used to pick up objects, one button that's used to dash run, and lastly a button to chop up your ingredients. Like I said, the mechanics are really simple, but the challenge comes from time management and working efficiently. At the top left, you'll see your orders and a timer for each one of them. If you're playing alone, you'll have to efficiently switch between two characters as you try to fill out your orders. Traditionally, you'd want to play with a friend, as it's better to have two working cooks at the same time, because if you're playing alone, you control both characters but really can only do one action at a time per character. The basic concept of completing a meal is gathering your ingredients, and this can be anything from carrots, onions, potatoes, or steak, and then preparing those ingredients. For example, if you're making onion soup, you'll need to get 3 onions, take them to the cutting board, chop them up, and then throw them into a pot to boil. You'll then have to plate them and send them down the conveyor belt to the customer. It's easy in explanation, but you really do have to focus on time management, as your ingredients can burn if they're cooking too long, and you'll have to clean the dirty dishes so that you have dishes for the next order. It's more challenging in practice and only gets more challenging as you progress through the game. As you complete orders and levels, you'll get a score out of 3 stars. Those unlocked stars start to add up and unlock new levels, and they only get more challenging through the environments they introduce. Ice levels will make the floor slippery and harder to navigate, while something like a boat level will rock back and forth, completely cutting off one chef from another. In these later parts of the game where the environments get definitely more challenging, it does help to have a friend there to play co-op with. You can still tackle these levels by yourself, but it's a lie if you say it's not more challenging. I actually tweeted this out yesterday that my neighbor heard me swearing at the game, and so she came over and I invited her to play. A few minutes later, we were both screaming at the game and having fun. So yes, this is a game with co-op in mind and its main focus, but you can still have fun by playing alone. Now, on top of the 5 to 6 hour campaign, you'll have 2 DLC packs that add in more levels and unlockable characters to play as. Each DLC pack adds in newly themed levels that in total add up to about 2 hours worth of gameplay each. Aside from the cool new characters, you'll find new ingredients and, my personal favorite, new tools to play with, like a flamethrower. You'll probably want to beat the campaign first before tackling these more difficult challenges though. Now, aside from the co-op and the main story, there's a multiplayer versus mode that puts 2 players against each other, or you can play really up to 4. Regardless, if you play with 2 players, one person will control a pair of characters as they compete for the highest score by completing orders. Versus mode was a ton of fun and even had me swearing way more than what you would find me swearing at something like a violent multiplayer game like a shooter or Super Smash Bros. It's just a lot of fun. Overcooked Special Edition is a blast, and even more fun being able to take it on the go with the Switch. But damn, is the Switch version plagued with tech issues. When playing in dock mode, I noticed that quite a few frame drops would hit, somewhere in the mid to low 20s, while the Switch version still targets the 30 FPS lock that the PS4 and Xbox One has. There does seem to be less of a slowdown, or at least a less noticeable one, when playing in handheld mode, but it still does exist. Although I want to note that Team 17 has acknowledged these issues and have said they're looking into it. Another thing I noticed is that Overcooked on the Switch really makes the console run hot. The fans pretty much go at full blast both docked and in portable mode. It makes the Switch get warm to the touch, and it's especially noticeable if you're playing docked and then immediately take it off and start playing on the go. While I definitely think that Overcooked Special Edition is a lot of fun, I'm a bit wary about recommending it the way it is right now at launch. I have no doubt that Team 17 will eventually polish out these tech issues, but at the moment, it's a bit odd to see a game of this visual and technical caliber put a strain on the Nintendo Switch. I definitely don't think it's because of lack of power on the console, especially since I'm able to play games like Mario Kart 8 at 1080p 60 like nothing. But something in the game's code is definitely off here at launch. I do say Overcooked Special Edition is worth getting on the Switch, I just say it's probably better to wait for the first patch to drop before dropping the 20 bucks on this game. I'll link to Team 17's Twitter in the description so you can keep up to date with their patch update. But that's my review of Overcooked Special Edition for the Nintendo Switch. If I did miss any questions you had about the review, feel free to ask me in the comments down below, or just hit me up on Twitter or Instagram and I'll do my best to respond and answer your question. As always, thank you all very much for watching. We're almost at 50,000 subscribers, so thank you to everyone who's subscribed so far, and if you're a new viewer, consider subscribing if you enjoy the content. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. It is so hot in here, you guys. It's like 98 degrees in Northridge, and I have 2 really bright lights right now. Oh gosh, I am so ready to edit this video and go to sleep.